Hola, ¿cómo está Las Vegas? And welcome to Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. And one of our proud sponsors is Ogden Market on the corner of 9th and Ogden, downtown Las Vegas. Wonderful food, beverages, beer, wine, spirits. They also have some of the loosest slots in town. That is Ogden Market, 2 blocks from the El Cortez and fabulous downtown Las Vegas on the corner of 9th and Ogden. Ogden Market. It's been serving Las Vegas for over 30 years. And with that, today we have a special guest, David, a good friend of ours, and he's going to talk to us about the marijuana laws and what's been going on with him. He was illegally evicted from his house. He has a marijuana card, has been a card holder since 2000, and yet people came into his home and illegally evicted him from his house. David, what's been going on since the last time you were here?
Well, I don't know if I showed you the last copy of the judge's decision. Essentially what it says is that it's okay just to throw me out for no reason. After doing this, appellant was properly served a 5-day notice of pay rent or quit, which is not true. I offered to pay the rent in January and offered to pay the rent in February, and they were both refused by the front office. The tenant filed an answer to the complaint, that's this reference. A hearing was held and testimony was taken, at which point the court ruled. Except that I wasn't there for that hearing and I wasn't allowed to testify. So...
What?
Yeah. Then a summary eviction was properly granted by the lower court, so we're going to send it back to the lower court and allow them to evict you. Bond returned, appellant and or payer. Yeah, huh? I paid $250 bond just to see a judge, and I didn't get to see a judge. So, I'm locked out. The next day they steal my medicine. So I go over to the local police station, you know, the area police station. I forgot what street it's on, but I went in there and I asked for a detective, and I spoke to a lady, and she said to do this and do that and come back. So I did this and did that and come back. I didn't get any action. So I went in again. I spoke to a young gentleman. He was even-minded and fair, and he told me to do this and do that, and got me some actual information about the break-in by the police, got me the person's name and an incident number. Mm-hmm. I still haven't been arrested for anything, but I'm still accused of being a criminal conspiracy or a criminal enterprise. Oh, that's okay. That's not true. Let's get after him for something else. So, I speak to I went in the third time to speak to somebody, and those two weren't there. So I lost my temper, and I raised my voice, and I left. I didn't insult anybody, I didn't talk to anybody directly, I just left. Mm-hmm. The next day, I go back in and sign in, go to the restroom, and as soon as I come out of the restroom, there's a detective there in the lobby with a guard who take me out of the building and say I'm not allowed to be in there. I said, why? What did I do? He says, you came into the office wearing a black helmet and you scared the girls.
What?
I scared everybody in the place. And that's the reason I'm not allowed to go back.
What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, and these people are just incredible, because I was complaining that the management, when I went over to the apartment complex, told me that if I showed up on their property again, I would be arrested for trespassing. And if I tried to collect my mail, they were going to change the mailbox keys on me. I wanted an officer to come with me to make sure that these people either didn't do it or it was documented that they did do it. But I can't get any help even from the local police. Does that make any sense?
It makes no sense.
And none of this has. And the reason the lawyers won't have anything to do with this is because I haven't been arrested or accused of anything yet. How is that possible?
And that sounds totally illegal.
And it is, and I can't get
You
any
haven't been arrested or accused of anything. First of all, how are you evicted? On what grounds?
First of all was the phony threat that I'm a criminal conspiracy. And the judge says, yeah, you're right, but we are going to throw it out and allow them to attack you again because your contract is up. Well, how does that make sense? This is all about the money. The corporate entity that wants to control my life because they got a vendetta against the old hippie.
David, I base my show on common sense. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense.
There's
Do you
nothing
think that
common
that would
about
be-
common sense.
Do you think that there's anybody, let's just put it on the table, is there anybody you think you could have pissed off? You think there's somebody that might have a vendetta against you?
Well, wait a minute. When the government moved me out of the old apartment to trash those things and build a freeway over there, they didn't offer me anything else but that place. The government representative was standing behind me when they checked me in, signed me in, filled out the contract and all that stuff, and that person was fired. So the lady who was in there took one look at me after I come to pay my second rent's payment, and she's got arrows coming out of her freaking eyes. She hates me no end.
Wow.
And I had no idea. I didn't offend her. I didn't do anything to her. No, this is vendetta from high school. I'm sorry, but I got to find some way to discipline that corporation in California so they will discipline her.
Wow.
That's how far you've got to go.
Wow. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, I've been refused help by all the medical marijuana lawyers. I went up to the wealthy side of town and asked over at the stores over there, and it seems that there's a toss-up between Ross Goodman and a Dominic Gentry for who's more popular amongst the medical marijuana community. So I called Ross Goodman's office. I explained the situation to the secretary yesterday, and she said he'll call you back when he comes in. I haven't heard a damn thing yet. Probably never will. It's not in my purview. This is new to me. I don't know what to do. It's a housing issue. It's an old farts issue. It's something other than my responsibility. These people just duck out. There is no pro bono in this town. No matter how much you see it's advertised for help, you can't get any real help. It's all BS.
Yeah. I agree. I think if they don't think they can make money off of it,
yeah, get out of my sight.
Involved.
I don't want to get involved with you.
Exactly,
You
David.
ain't gonna make an arm and a leg on me.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, what can I do? I'm still locked out of my apartment. I have until the 16th of this month to get my stuff out of there. But as soon as I call the office, they're going to make trouble. They can't lock me out of my mailbox. That's illegal.
Yes, it is.
Who's going to enforce it? I can't get a cop to come with me.
How are you going to get your belongings in there?
Exactly. I have to have somebody listening over my shoulder when I use a phone to make an appointment with them. They demand I make an appointment to their schedule. They're there every day.
Unbelievable.
Well, help me out, folks. I need a place to live, and I need an extra income. This government Social Security that keeps going down every year, and prices keep going up every year, and now I can't. I go to the welfare office, show them my income. Oh yeah, huh? Fill out all the papers, fill out all your debt, yada 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 yada. We'll give you $12 to live on. 2 friggin' meals I get to live on?
But we have illegal aliens over here getting plenty
Tons
of
of
money.
shit.
Tons
Tons of money. Tons of benefits. Tons of places to hide out. Oh. If I could just go across the border and renounce my Americanship, I'd be back here in no time and wealthy as hell. Isn't that stupid?
That's true, though. Unfortunately. Hopefully our president does something about that. Because that is the truth, unfortunately.
You hold one hand and the other hand,
That's
see what fills up first.
That's right. That's
Well, wasn't no bummer. A hope and, what do you say? Hope and, he started his campaign with hope and promise, or hope it's something or other.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm still hoping. Ain't nothing happened.
Hope we can can believe in or something like
Hope,
that.
yeah. Hope and belief, hope and faith, or something. I don't know what it is. But I knew you start out your campaign with hope, you ain't going to get shit from them.
So tell me, what are you going to do, David?
Well, I don't know. I've also got a slight problem with the registration of a vehicle from 3 years ago. I'm getting kicked around from house to house to house, rentals. I go into the DMV every time and change my driver's license address. One day I stop at my last place I was living in, and I'm walking around the back of the car, and I see the plate is tag has expired. I was supposed to change it last month. Well, what happened to the blue card I used to get? I go to the DMV. He says, you got it. I said, no, I didn't. And whackety-whackety-whack on the computer. He says, oh, we didn't move your address from your driver's license over to the registration. Clickety-clickety-click. Click, it's fixed. Now pay us the fine. I said, no, I ain't paying no fine for what you just did. What now? He says, I don't know. So I leave. A month later, I go back in again. I talk to a little old lady this time. I get the same stuff. It's your fault. You got to pay the fine. And I get up and leave again. Forget this and that, the other thing. Go back again, talk to a supervisor there. And the supervisor says, yeah, it's your fault that you didn't pay the fine. Now you got to pay all the fines. Tickets, yada, 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 and all this stuff. Great. Well, I started paying on that. I paid $700 and all that stuff. I've been arrested for it. Put 3 days and 5 days in jail for it. And I'm still $600 behind. Now they're sending me warrants. I got 5 warrants for this non-payment of fines and fees that I don't deserve. Doesn't matter. I'm guilty. Send me to prison. I don't know what, but I'm guilty. Send me to prison. Wonderful situation, Vegas. Really helpful. Really nice people who can do. I've never yet seen any justice in the Justice Building. It's just money generation. That's all it is.
That's it.
I talk to officers in the building, and they say, well, I'm sorry for you, and, really, you got my sympathy, but it don't help. You're guilty. Go to jail. Yeah, this letter from the judge says he can't be sympathetic. Why not? How about all the corporate lawyers that I've contacted and talked to? Well, this is all within a foreign limited liability corporation, and they write their own rules, so they're all legal about what they do. Their rules aren't law. How is it just to write a contract to rent an apartment and then addition on the end of it, addition over it, addition this, addendums, corporate addendums. So after signing a 15-page contract with 30 pages of addendums on the ass end of it, I move into that apartment complex. Within 2 weeks, they steal my car off the lot because it's legal. It wasn't registered. And it's their job to enforce registration now. That's why they stole my car. Perfectly good, working 92 Toyota Camry. Gone. Oh, great. So a month later, I buy a little scooter, $700 to a friend of mine to buy a scooter. It sat on the patio as I used it. I became a target to somebody because 2 weeks after it was there, it was picked up off the porch, locked and chained, and walked out to a truck and taken off with. Stolen. In the apartment complex off my patio. Uh-huh. Nothing we can do about it, says the front office. This is a senior's home? Yeah. With security gates that don't freaking work. Haven't worked since I've been there. There's no security there. Somebody told me they had a security guard at night. Well, some jerk walking around with a flashlight is very noticeable in a well-lit community, even in the middle of the night. So, of course, they avoided him. Mm-hmm. You're broadcasting, you're a security guard with a flashlight. Uh-huh. How do they get away with it? Wow. So I'm a nuisance because I park my scooter in the apartment. I am a nuisance because I park my scooter near the door at the front of the building so it doesn't get walked off with. Wow. I'm just a target. I've been a target all my life. Just a working stiff. Never allowed to earn more than enough to save. Not that I can't save. Back in the 70s, I was started at United Coin. 2 years was a great company to work for. Corporate took over in a third year. And by the end of the fourth and fifth years, they took away all the vacation time, they took away all the Christmas bonuses, and they paid 2 or 3 extra suits all that money for nothing. And I got fired because I was the long hair. I touched somebody's cigarettes at the bowling alley in Charleston and Decatur. You remember when there was a bowling alley up there?
Yes.
Yeah. The little small mind behind the counter there didn't like being behind the counter. She stashed her cigarettes in our coin counter, and I needed to count 650 coins to pay one of her customers. I moved her cigarettes out of the counter. I did the job and left. Later, I find out I'm fired for it. Just another vendetta against the hippie. Somebody who's dissatisfied with not being allowed to join the group in high school.
Unbelievable.
All my life, every time I turn around, somebody's
unbelievable.
Hey.
So what do you think you're gonna have to do, dude?
That's another good question. All the last 2 months, 2.5 months, I've been looking for an apartment. I'm paying $640 a month over there. I was paying $540 a month for the place I was taken out of. And guess what? I found one apartment at $640 that I can get into. I just can't qualify for it. What does that mean? The LLCs have written their contracts and their addendums to require me to have 3 times, not the rent, 3 times the rent to qualify to live there. How is that any concern of theirs if you have the money to pay the goddamn rent? But they're stopping me from getting apartments now.
Wow.
I found one. I used to live when I was going to school at UNLV on Long Acres. There's no longer a Long Acres. But the street names have been changed and the apartment names have been changed, but the buildings are still there. I can go there and rent an apartment for my entire monthly income. Now what do I eat on for the rest of the month? $12? That's what the welfare gives me to eat on.
That's right. You get 2 meals for the month, David. Make it last.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculously stupid, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
So, I need a place to live, some help getting there, and maybe a little extra income doing something I can sit down doing. I can't walk. I have heel spurs. I got bad knees. I got bad joints. My only medication is cannabis. I got off the morphine, and boy, that was ugly.
Wow. Thank God for that, though.
Yeah, well, I was at 35 milligrams 4 times a day, plus breakout pain. One of those Oxycontin, little doses of Oxycontin or something. Yeah, I was loopy. I let somebody look over my shoulder and steal my IDs and credit and ruin my credit for me.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
They should at least, legally, when you have to go pick up your stuff or your mail or something like that, a police officer should escort you. And it's amazing.
They're too busy.
Yes. When things like that happen, though, and we go back and then there's a commotion, then they show up then. Oh. And they say, why didn't you call us and escort you to the complex? You did try. You did ask them to escort you. They're waiting for something to happen. And then they'll show up. It'll be 20 of them. It'll be 20 cars.
All the pointing guns instantly show up. Yeah, and then, are we safe? Are we safe? Oh, okay, we put our guns away now. Oh, please. The culture of fear in law enforcement? Since 9/11, yes. They showed how much cowards they are by putting on vests and wearing them all the time. If you got no balls, put on a vest. Otherwise, don't be a goddamn policeman. The job is supposed to have a risk. People can overlook that risk were the honorable peace officers that I grew up with. Law enforcement is not honorable. They're just thugs. Well, we let society change the definition of the words. We let corporations change the definition of the words. We let the DMV change the definition of the words. I thought we spoke English here.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know the DMV's insinuated a false definition for driver into the language? Did you know? You're not a driver. You're not a driver. You're not a driver. That's right. A driver is, by definition, the first definition in an 1800 dictionary, the driver is a person employed to do something, like drive a herd of cattle, drive a herd of horses, drive a train. But that's no longer applicable, because the DMV says a driver is a person that steers a vehicle. What? How is that legal to change the definition by subversion in our country?
So what are we?
We are travelers. We have a right to free and unrestricted travel in this country. Oh yeah, the police will say, yeah, you can travel on foot. On foot. Okay, I'll get a horse. I'll rent a horse and come downtown to your justice center and park the horse on the street. And now you got to clean up the horse crap. Thank you. Okay? Well, if you go back and look at the Constitution and the definitions wrapped around that, we have a right to free and unrestricted travel by any modern conveyance available, which is a car, which is a bicycle. Huh? Well, wait a minute. The DMV just decided last year that bicycles, electric bicycles, and mopeds are no longer cars, bicycles, no longer bicycles and mopeds. They're now passenger vehicles. You see my scooter? You see me on the scooter? Where would I put a passenger on that thing? You know, it's a passenger vehicle, and I have to register it. I have to pay $35 basis and tax and this and that and the other thing. It's situational how much you're going to pay for registering a bicycle or a moped. So I told the cop who stopped me for not having registration on my moped, no, I don't want to register it, and it's illegal for you to define it as something it's not. You ever heard of a bicycle built for two, which these are not? How can the legislature justify changing the definition like that? Just to put a zero on some suit's paycheck.
That's it.
Right, so I go to the police, I go to the Justice Center again. Here's a ticket. I got a ticket. I want to fight it. Can I fight it? Sure, you can fight it, but you got 5 warrants. You're going to go to jail anyway. Thank you. Now what? Well, you'll see a defense lawyer in the judge's chamber and in the courtroom. And I asked the guy, well, if I do that now, how long am I going to spend in prison? I got to get my stuff out of lockup for within 2 weeks. Am I going to spend 2 weeks? Am I going to spend a month? Am I going to spend 6 months in jail because you ain't getting the money? We can't tell you that. Why not? It's secret? Well, yeah, you might be able to prepare for it. What the hell? This is justice? Yeah, no, this is Vegas. There ain't no justice here. My brother was imprisoned in Elko in high school by the girl's VP and false charges. He was convicted of being a drug dealer at Valley High School because somebody else brought pharmaceuticals into the school. Well, that stay in Elko conditioned him to like prison.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He came out, he found out what it was like to be a gambler and a dealer on the street, and didn't defend himself for anything else that came along. He served 20 years for not defending himself from child molesting charges.
Mercy.
Which was bullshit. Doing for a family, in-law family member a favor, taking their kids to a friend's pool party. And again, when he served all that term, all that time, he was found guilty without any evidence because he pled guilty. He got out, spent a month, 2 months out, and went right back in because he managed to find a situation where he could be alone with other kids and have my sister call the cops and claim he's a child molester. Didn't defend himself again. 3 life terms.
Oh.
That's justice, isn't it?
Oh.
Right. Well, a couple of months ago, he calls me, he writes me a letter, and he says, I'm up for parole. Great. Guess what? When I came back into town in 2004, he served his time out at Gene, come out, got rearrested, and they closed Gene. So they sent him to High Desert. When I went out to High Desert, I couldn't visit him because I was on the Gene list. So I go through the paperwork to visit him. I get to visit him. A month later, after I visit him, they moved him. Now he's in a different prison, from High Desert to South Desert. I go and visit him in South Desert. A month later, they moved him. Now he's out in Lovelock. I can't visit him out there. That's the intent. The old hippie's not allowed to go to the prisons.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's not enough. That's not enough. Now they tell me he wants to get out of prison. He's up for parole. Let's go have a parole hearing. I get the letter the day after it happens. I can't attend. 2 years next, there's another parole hearing. It's at Lovelock and Carson City. I can't attend. Here we are again. He's up for parole again. Here's another hearing. It's in Lovelock and Reno.
They moving him.
How the hell is this possible? They got a station right here in Vegas. They invited me to go there and do the TV interview with Carson City, but no. Somebody's screwing around just enough to keep me from showing up.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the American people, you should learn so much what's going on out here. I mean, David McDondough is an excellent guest. I love him when he comes on. He reminds me a lot of Eric Massey, who comes on every Wednesday with me for a half an hour, and he talks about illegal foreclosures. This is an illegal eviction, and unfortunately, I hear from a lot of people, this is going on way more than what the people think. It's not on the news, but it is happening all over the country.
And it's not news because they don't arrest you.
That's right.
It's not a...
Because they know it's illegal.
It's not a legal case. It's illegal for them to do that,
right.
yes, but, you know, who's going to hold them responsible?
If you are an attorney out there, you are listening. Of course, we stream live, yes, on radiotribune.com. Monday through Friday from 1 to 1:30, Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. And, of course, we are on 97.9. Our show replays on 97.9 FM. And, of course, you can Google and watch Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. It will be up on YouTube in a couple of hours. And push the subscribe bell, and you will get every single show. Will come right to your phone, tablet, smartphone, computer. And if you're an attorney out there, and if you'd like to do the right thing, do some pro bono work. David McDondough was illegally evicted from his home. He's going to have no place to go. His belongings are still in his apartment. His marijuana plants were stolen from his house illegally. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He has been a card-carrying marijuana card holder since the year 2000. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. If you are an attorney out there, you're watching, listening to the show, please contact us at the show. Contact me, 702-600-0005. Contact me, and if you are a lawyer and you would like to do some pro bono work for my guest, my friend David McDondough, we would sure appreciate it, because he needs somebody to fight for him. He was illegally
famous.
There you go. There you go. Because he was illegally evicted from his home. No one will help him, and you need to step up and do the right thing. He's been illegally evicted from his home, and we live in the United States of America, and we're supposed to have rights in this country as American citizens. He did the right thing. He got a marijuana card like you're supposed to do. He has followed the laws. Why isn't the law helping him? Thank you so much for watching Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. Google me. I will be up on YouTube, and push the subscribe button. God bless America, and God bless our troops. And step up and help my friend David McDondough. Thank you so much for watching.